Have you ever wondered how people are able to lose 50 pounds, 75 pounds, even 100 pounds or more and be able to keep that weight off? Listen, I've been blessed with the opportunity to be able to help people, my clients, drop that type of weight and keep it off. And so in this video, I'm going to share with you habits that allow you to have dramatic and just extreme fat loss, okay? Now listen, I grew up in a family where all we used to eat was soul food. I'm talking about cornbread, macaroni and cheese, corn, red velvet cake. That was life growing up. And I grew up with my granddad, his two sisters, and all three of them were heavyset. They were overweight, they were obese actually. And as I was growing up, I watched as their body and their health started to deteriorate, type 2 diabetes. My granddad had sleep apnea, ended up having a heart attack when he was 46 years old. But you know, they would always say things like, oh, we're big bone, oh, we're just heavy set. And those were things I believed until I went to Georgia State University and studied nutrition and exercise science. And what I came to realize was that those were just beliefs that my family had growing up, but we didn't know the facts. We didn't know the real thing. And so that's what tends to happen to a lot of people. They think it's, oh, they're big bone, oh, they're genetics, they're not supposed to lose weight, oh, they're supposed to be like their mom or their dad or their granddad, you know, but that's not the case. And so if you're in a place in your life right now, you're like, man, I want to get this weight off so I can feel better, I could be a positive role model for other people I love and care about, I have more energy, you know, you just feel proud about the way you look. I'm getting ready to share with you the habits that you have to be able to get that, have that type of lifestyle and have those things, okay? Because the truth is, and I'm the coach, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing. You are right now where you are based on the habits that you've had up to this point. And so if you wanna change, all we need to do is change the habits and we'll change the results and outcomes that you're having, okay? So with that said, let's go ahead and dive in. The first habit is this. You have to start focusing on the gimmicks in terms of nutrition. The keto diet, the fasting diet, the Atkins diet, the carnivore diet. There's a lot of different tactics and gimmicks out there. And it doesn't mean when I say gimmicks that they don't work. It's a reason that people know about these different diets, right? But it doesn't mean that that's the best diet plan for you. I've had plenty of coaching clients who've tried these things. They lose a little bit of weight, gain it back. And they wonder why they can't keep the weight off. They wonder why they can't stay consistent with that way of eating. And my whole approach is this. We build a healthy relationship with food. It's the same way with making money. If you want to make more money, you have to build a healthy relationship with making money. You know what I'm saying? You have to build a relationship as far as being responsible, knowing how much you're spending, knowing how much you need to save, things like that, knowing how to invest, right? Building a healthy relationship with your finances. We do the same thing with your nutrition because nutrition is the number one thing you have to do right if you want to drop weight. You cannot outwork poor nutrition habits. I see a lot of times folks say, well, I'm just going to walk every day. I'm going to start doing cardio. I'm going to get me an in-person personal trainer. It don't mean these things are bad. But a lot of people always say, well, I'm doing the best I can. And the truth is, just doing the best you can don't always mean you're going to get results. Okay? You have to do what's required to get results. And to drop weight, to drop body fat and keep it off, you absolutely have to understand how to build a healthy relationship with food. And so when I think about this, I'm not just thinking about things like eating healthier, right? Eating more quality foods, eating food from the house and not eating a lot of processed food. Those things are important. If you're always eating out, you're not eating at home, cooking like real food, wholesome food, foods that are dense with nutrition and vitamins and essential minerals, things like that. You need to do that. But if you're always eating junk food, then you're going to notice that you have low energy. You're going to notice that you have brain fog. This is how folks end up having type 2 diabetes because they're eating an excess amount of sugar, excess amount of starchy carbohydrates. And that's how they eventually have things like type 2 diabetes, erectile dysfunction, heart disease. That's how that happens. And so that is a part of it. I follow the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, you need to be eating clean and lean. Then the other 20%, you can enjoy yourself. Like guys, even myself, I still eat Waffle House. I'm a down South Georgia boy. It's just in me. But I'm not eating Waffle House every day. You know, I like drinking an old fashioned every other week, but I'm not doing it every day. All right. And so build a healthy relationship and have boundaries around these things on how often you're going to, maybe eat out, drink alcohol, eat junk food, things like that. But the other side of it is there's people out here who are eating healthy, and plenty of people who reach out to me to jump on these game plan calls with me who want to join my program. They're eating healthy. They're eating the same type of things that me and my clients are eating, but these people who haven't joined are not losing weight. And they wonder why. The reason why is because the quality of the food is important, but also the quantity of food that you eat. You hear it all over social media, calories, your calorie deficit. So you have to understand that, all right? It's not just, people are not just saying it. It's important. Calories is just like a metric of energy. And so people who are very overweight, people who are very heavy, you've had an excess amount of energy, calories inside your body. And when you have an excess amount, it just turns into fat. Your body just stores that excess amount of body calories as fat, okay? That's why that happens. And so we have to understand, what amount of calories do I need to eat to drop body fat without starving, okay? Because some people, they'll do these different diets, and they're doing like the 600, 700, 800 calorie diet, but you're a grown ass man and you in your 30s, 40s, or maybe even 50s. Man, you're gonna be starving. Can't do that. And that's why people can't sustain it. You may drop weight initially, but you won't be able to keep it off. And so this is why it's important to understand your caloric intake as well. This is like, nobody can join my coaching. I don't even give out just workout plans. If they want the workout routine, they have to get nutrition, because that's how important nutrition is. And so, even if you don't have the resources to invest in a coach, you could just go on Google, type in TDEE calculator, which stands for total daily energy expenditure. And you put your information in, and then it'll give you a certain amount of calories, right? And then you can reduce that by, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe even 600 calories, and you eat that consistently on a daily basis. Once you do that, now you're gonna be in an energy deficit to be able to lose weight, okay? And you have to eat that amount or less on a daily basis. Because if you notice that you're stepping on the scale and the weight isn't going down, that's because you're overeating. All right, so that's the first part. Build a healthy relationship with food. The second thing is this. A lot of people who reach out to me, and man, I get like hundreds of people messaging me on Instagram and Facebook. And by far, one of the number one issues that most people have is inconsistency. And inconsistency comes from two things. It's because you're lacking structure and time management, okay? And so we all busy, I get it. We have family, we have, running businesses, or you have a demanding career, maybe you have to travel and you got kids. It's a lot, I get it. And I'd be going crazy if I didn't have some type of calendar to be aware of what's all going on throughout my days and weeks. Like, I don't know how some of y'all are doing it. And so one of the habits that you have to have if you want to lose weight consistently and keep that weight off is if you have to have a consistent routine and calendar. Meaning, and sometimes your calendar may change, your lifestyle may change, but it needs to be plugged in on a calendar. And so that way, whatever is plugged in, it's getting done. And so something that I recommend for my clients is called Google Calendar. Like inside my coaching app, I have a calendar for the workouts and all that kind of stuff. But I also recommend having Google Calendar. And so that way, you can plug in when you're working. You can plug in when you're gonna be eating. You can plug in when you're gonna have family time. You can plug in when you're gonna be working out. Because now you're not leaving it up to chance. It's like you've committed to this day, this time, to be able to work out. And if you wanna be able to really lose this weight, 50, 70, 100 plus pounds, these are the habits that people are using. All right, these are the things I know my clients are doing, and that's how they're dropping this kind of weight. They're not leaving it up to chance, okay? And so that's how you have more time management. Use Google Calendar, so that way you know when it's happening, and you don't forget. You end up at the end of the day, you're like, damn, I knew I forgot something. I didn't go work out. So it takes time. You got to build that habit. And so you use that calendar to hold you accountable, all right? Like even on my phone, when something is getting ready to come up on my calendar, I have an hour notice, a notification like an hour beforehand. Hey, it's about time to shoot your YouTube video. Hey, it's about time to shoot this podcast. Hey, it's almost time to do your coaching call with your clients. And so that way I don't have to guess and like be all anxious, like, oh man, when is it gonna happen? I still gotta go to the gym. You can't do that if you want to lose weight and keep it off, okay? That's the second thing. The third thing, I don't know about you, but I like looking good. I want to look good in my clothes and when I take my clothes off. We just being real here. I want to feel proud about how I look. I don't want to, have to turn the lights off or get up underneath the covers before I'm about to have some fun in the bedroom. Oh, no, I don't want to do all that. And so how do you build a body that you feel proud of? You can't just eat right, because if you just eat right and lose weight, you're going to look weak, skinny, fat, and frail. That's what happens to a lot of folks. They be like, I still don't like the way I look though. There's no tone. I'm not tight in tone. Because you ain't making dates with the weights. That's why I made this hoodie called Make Dates with the Weights. And so I keep on showing y'all ass. You gotta hit the weights. You gotta make dates with the weights if you wanna build your shoulders, if you wanna build your biceps, if you wanna build your arms, you wanna build a nice chest, you wanna have a toned midsection, you wanna have some nice legs. Guys, don't be skipping leg day. That's big ass stomach behavior, man. You gotta hit them legs too. You can't be all fit up top, having little skinny ass legs. You gotta train everything, okay? Because if all you do is do cardio and eat right, you may lose the weight if you eat in a deficit, like far as your calories, but you're not gonna be proud and happy about the way you look. You won't have that tone. You won't look strong. Some people just, and that's what I call weight loss. And we wanna focus on fat loss. When you focus on fat loss, now you're also lifting weights into the routine. So that way you're building up muscle, right? Building up muscle from lifting, but you're dropping all the body fat from the nutrition and just you living an active lifestyle. But listen, guys, if you want to be able to have a body that looks the part, you look good in your clothes when you're taking clothes off, you got to lift. If you can't build muscle doing cardio. You can't build muscle just drinking protein shakes. It don't work that way. If you want biceps and nice chest and nice shoulders, nice legs, you got to lift. You have to sculpt and develop those muscles through strength training, lifting, okay? So that's why you got to make dates with the weights. That's number 3. Number 4, you have to become value focused and not gimmick and quick fix focused. This is what I've noticed among all my coaching clients, because at one point they were where some of you guys are, they tried different diets, they try the fasting diet, they try the circuit training, they try the HIIT training, they try all these different things to, try to drop a quick 10, 15, 20 pounds. And a lot of times they will gain the weight back because they're not value focused and lifestyle focused, okay? And so it's 2 parts to this. The first part, the value part of it is this. When you think about nutrition, we live in this day and age where we're very food obsessed in the United States. Like we just enjoy eating good food. That's how we celebrate. That's how we use it as a pick-me-up after a tough day. Some people even drink alcohol and, do drugs and things like that. But, and it's not that you're a bad person if you do those things, but you have to think about it from a standpoint of value. Like once I hit about 30, 31 years old, I started looking at food differently because I started to realize, man, if I'm drinking Hennessy and Patron all the time, like, man, no wonder I have brain fog and I'm tired all the time. It would take me like 2-3 days to fully recover again. If I'm eating honey buns and eating French, Cinnamon Toast Crunch late at night, and I wake up the next day and wonder why I'm having brain fog all the time and I'm having acid reflux and issues with my skin, having eczema, it's because of the way I was eating. I'm focused on just pleasure. And there's a place for that. That's why I call it the 80-20 rule or the 90-10 rule. 80% of the time, or like 80 to 90% of the time, value focused, meaning I'm eating at home, meaning I'm eating vegetables, I'm eating fruits, I'm eating healthy fats like avocados and cashews. I'm doing those things. I'm drinking sparkling water instead of sodas because I love me some soda, but if I'm drinking sodas, even them 0 sugar sodas are not all that healthy as y'all might think. It's a better option than the real thing, but still ain't all that healthy. I've heard there's like neurotoxins in that 0 sugar sodas. And so that's what made me switch all the way over and get bougie on folks and just drink the sparkling water. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to feel good on a daily basis. and that brings me value. And so start to be more value focused and not so pleasure focused. There's a time and a place to, enjoy the foods that we eat and eat our favorite foods, drink a little alcohol, whatever it is. But we need to keep that to a minimum. I'm talking 10, 20%. And then the other 80, 90%, you need to be locked in. That's how you get that weight off and keep it off. And the other side of it is it's a lifestyle. Like, you have to build your perfect life. Like, whatever habits you have, like leaving this video, the habits that you start having, you have to think to yourself, can I sustain this? Most folks can't sustain starving themselves. So don't start a habit of starving yourself. Most folks don't want to go 3 or 4 days without eating anything and just doing some type of juice and detox diet. Most folks not going to want to do that. You want to eat some food. And so don't start that type of a habit. Just start with habits that you're like, man, I can see myself eating vegetables every day. I can see myself eating fruit every day. And you pick the fruits and vegetables you prefer eating. Even with the proteins, you pick the proteins that you prefer eating. I know I like eating New York strip steak, sockeye salmon. I know I like eating ground turkey, 93% lean sirloin beef. I know I like those proteins, and those pretty much the main ones I eat on a daily basis. And I just rotate them. That's my lifestyle. And so you have to build your perfect lifestyle as well. That way you can lose this weight and keep it off. This is like the big secret. If you want to lose the weight, you have to have the right habits. If you want to keep the weight off, you have to keep the habits that allowed you to lose the weight. Because if you stop those habits, you lose the results. Okay? And so that's number 4. Number 5, by far one of the biggest ones. You have to focus on building your character. And I want you to just think about this, because I like looking at movies. I'm just a movie guy. And one of the things that I've noticed is we have the character, the main character in the movie, and we admire this person. Something about this main character inspires us, right? Whether it be like the Wolverine movie or, just any, it could be the Rudy movie. Like, Rudy is one of my favorite movies, right? Remember the Titans is one of my favorite movies. And so they have these main characters who go through some type of obstacles and challenges, and they build themselves to become the version of themselves that they need to be able to accomplish the things that they want to accomplish or overcome the problems that they're dealing with. Whether that be, let's say, you're the character in your story, whether it be with being overweight, having high blood pressure, having type 2 diabetes, having sleep apnea, erectile dysfunction, whatever it is. Those are issues and problems. Like, of course we want to hit our goal, but man, you don't want to keep living in that pain, right? You don't want to keep living in those insecurities. And so you have to build and mold yourself into a stronger character. And I've noticed from clients like Ann, this lady, she, reached out to me, and she was like 80 pounds heavy. She ended up dropping 80 something pounds working with me. I think she's down like 85 pounds. She's still in my program. And beforehand, she was afraid to invest in the coaching program. She was always tired. She wanted to look better in her clothes, but she would be around her friends and family and people at church, and she just kind of joke around about her weight. But she became a whole new version of herself over the course of months, over the course of the past year, to drop that 80, 85 pounds. And now she's made way more consistent in the gym. It's like she be working out at like 5 a.m. I can see when people check into my workout, she be working out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, this is a lady who's afraid to even join the coaching program. Now she's doing it consistently without anybody holding her accountable or checking in. Like, she gets it done. We still chat on a weekly basis, but it's like, I don't have to motivate her to lose that. Go to the gym. And you have to become that type of person yourself. You have to become that type of person who can build that motivation routine. It may start off with you having a coach, right? Because the coach is helping you help motivate you, help you build discipline, help you with the routines. But at some point, you're going to have to be able to continue to motivate yourself even after you work with that coach. And so you start to build routine, just like you have nutrition routine, workout routine. You have to have a routine to continue to remotivate yourself, whether that's looking at your goals or being grateful and looking back at how far you've come, thinking about the consequences. Everybody talk about these goals that motivate them, but what about them damn consequences? Consequences can motivate you too. Like the consequence of going broke. For a long time, that was what used to motivate me to keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? And so whatever those motivations are, you never want to go back to where you used to be. After you done dropped 30, 50, 75 pounds, you're like, man, I feel so much better. I can't even tell y'all the amount of people that have come through my coaching programs that are like, man, I can't believe nobody didn't tell me how big I hadn't got. I can't believe nobody had told me, like people that I'm close to, nobody told me like, dude, it's time to make some change. Nobody told them. And so now they're like, man, I never want to go back there. I used to be so tired. I used to feel so insecure. I couldn't be a role model for my kids the way I do now. You know what I'm saying? So some people, there's just one guy who worked in my program named Renzo. And he was depressed when he had joined my coaching program. I didn't know at that time, but after 6 months, the dude dropped 60 pounds. And he ended up getting a girlfriend and everything. His confidence went through the roof. He's more talkative. He was really quiet, you know, when he had a lot of that weight on him. It's life-changing. And it's worth it, man. I'm telling you, it's worth it. It's a whole nother side. I think a lot of times what happens to people when we're in this like trauma phase of whether it's weight loss or financial struggles, we start to normalize the pain. We start to normalize all the extra weight, all the issues with finances. But I'm telling you, don't normalize that stuff. There's a whole nother life that you can be living if you just start running the play with the right habits to lose the weight, and then you're gonna see how life really opens up for you. You're able to climb the ladder in your career. You're able to really bring that spark back in your relationship or meet your life partner. You're able to build that business because now you feel more confident when you have your suits on, you know what I'm saying? And you feel more respected, and people are gonna take you more seriously. That's building your character. Being physically and emotionally resilient when you're going through tough times, because you're gonna have some tough times. You know, when you step on a scale, you don't see the weight coming off as fast as you want to. That's painful for anybody. You know what I'm saying? Even me, like I said, I'm doing content. The content ain't growing. The audience is not growing as fast as I want to. It's a little painful. You know what I'm saying? But having that emotional resilience to be like, you know what? I'm gonna pick myself up. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep running the play. I'm gonna run it back again. I'm gonna do the same thing next week and see what we get. You see what I'm saying? And then you get to a point where you like, man, it's a standard for me to lose this weight. I'm taking nothing less. It's a standard for me to be successful. It's a standard for me to lead by example for the people I love and care about. And when you have this when you develop yourself into this version of yourself, and this comes from putting in the work and the time, because you get to a point where you become fed up. You're like, man, I can't live like this no more. And everything else changes based on that standard. I'm not living. I'm disgusted. I'm no longer living this way. And everything else, all your habits and routines line up with where you want to go. All right. And so this is how you get the weight off. This is how you lose the weight and keep it off. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. And if there's anything that you want to talk about or share in the comments, I'd love to start like a chat down in the comments if y'all have any comments down there. And if you have questions about other topics you want me to talk about, go ahead and drop them down below, and I'll be more than happy to make videos about them. We out. Let's get it.